Welcome to Lock Picking Legend.
Hello, you wonderful legends, and you are watching Lock Picking Legend. Do us a favour, give that thumbs up a little tickle. We're doing pretty well. We've got a load of new subs from the last video. Welcome to you all. You know, Lock Picking Legend, the channel, the idea, the concept, the revolution. We've tried to disrupt the lock-picking niche of YouTube. We try to do things a bit different. And we're going to do another one of these reaction videos. Now, I haven't watched this, so you'll be watching it with me. It's a huge channel. It's got like 40 million subscribers. This video's had nearly 2 million views. And it's called 15 Plus Unusual Tricks to make burglars stay away from your house. I'll leave a link to a blog of an interview of a domestic thief that you might find very interesting in the description. So give that thumbs up a like, subscribe if you're not, and let's get this ridiculous show on the road. Here we go.
No.
Hey, you got here just in time. Imagine this. It's
If anyone watching this sleeps like that, please turn off now. I don't want to be in the company of people like that. I think that's understood. And I don't like his sausage body. Let's go.
late into the evening. You're just about to go to sleep, and you hear the kitchen window creak. Footsteps. Someone's inside.
It's obvious. You thank God for the Second Amendment. You get your weapons from under the bed, and you empty those magazines in the direction of the noise. Unless, of course, you live in England where you're not allowed to do that. So, unlucky. You're in trouble.
And you're in a panic. It's a terrifying situation to imagine, but it can happen to anyone.
Oh, yeah, and also, don't forget, once he's in, if you break his fingernail, you might end up in prison. So, yeah. It's going well. I hope these tips are good.
So, here are a few tips on what to do in this scary situation.
Scary is an understatement. I mean, I've had it. I've been in bed and had someone break into my house. And, you know, the adrenaline. And adrenaline is a good thing. Adrenaline, you know, it's a painkiller. It gives you energy and strength. But it feels horrible. You know, I started shaking. My heartbeat started going. And, you know, my girlfriend was there. And I'm, you know, she's quite the slight of a creature. And I have to protect her. And, yeah, it's scary. It's absolutely terrifying.
And how you can keep intruders out of your home in the first place.
Shave your head and get a baseball bat. Thanks for the tip.
Just don't forget to subscribe and ring the notification bell
Likewise.
so that you don't miss a thing here on the bright side.
And we have got some absolutely cracking videos coming up. We've got a couple more cross sections, which everyone loves. If you haven't seen them, I've put them all into a playlist. We literally cut locks in half, but on the y-axis, not the x-axis. So no one else has done that. Yep, we cool.
Get to know your neighbors.
What an amazing change in tone. Now, get to know your neighbours is actually good advice. In this interview with a thief I read, I'll leave a link in the description. He says that neighbourhood watch is one of the things that puts most domestic thieves off. If they know there's a neighbourhood watch scheme going on, they won't go there. Because people will notice you sort of sneaking around. They'll think, who's that? He don't live round here. So that is actually good advice. I mean, it's just a shame that the West has lost its communities and no one knows the people who live next door to them, let alone down the road.
Obviously, you can't be home 24/7. That's why you need
I live there. I live in that tiny little cake.
some extra eyes on your house for when you're away. So, get on friendly terms with those who live around you. Let them know your schedule, habits, or routine.
I mean, there's a limit here. I mean, I don't know. Let them know your habits, schedule, and routine. Can you imagine crossing the road to your neighbour, knocking on the door, and they're like, "Yeah, who are you? and you're like, listen, Saturday nights me and the missus stay in, you know, we've got a little dungeon in the basement. Sundays we go to the cinema, and we like to have a couple of cans of premium strength lager every night of the week. Okay? Ta-da!
For example, let's say you always leave the light on in the upstairs bathroom. That way, if anything is wrong or suspicious is happening in or around your house, perhaps your bathroom light is switched off.
It's ridiculous. Imagine telling all your neighbours, right, listen, I'm going to leave my bathroom light on. If you could all chip in a couple of quid to pay for it, that would be handy. If you can get yourself a telescope and keep an eye on my bathroom light, if someone comes in my house, I'll switch it off. Yeah.
Your neighbors will notice it.
Oh yeah, because they're not busy. Your neighbours' lives are just about keeping an eye on your upstairs toilet light. Look at this fella. Look at look at him. He don't look like he's going to rob my house. He looks like he's going to tap dance like a cat on an hot tin roof.
Don't keep expensive things on display. Now this tip might seem pretty obvious when it comes to keeping your home burglar-free, but it's important to mention.
I'd keep her on display. Naughty but nice.
Showing off your costly stuff doesn't
What does that mean in this context? You're expensive prostitute.
do you any good. If anything, it only gives ideas to shady people.
And again, that is actually a good idea, but know your limits. I mean, if you've got a nice plasma screen telly, don't keep it in your bedroom and, you know, bring it down into the front room every time you want to use it. You know, you've got to sort of be practical here, but don't leave like mobile phones and iPads and laptops all in easy view of windows that people can see through. With this one, I'd suggest, you know, just make sure people can't see into your house. And I don't mean paint your windows black like a friend of mine did. Really, I had a friend, he got so paranoid. He's in a psych ward now. We saw that coming, but yeah, I went round his house, he painted all the windows black. He looked a bit like that bloke on the screen at the moment, actually.
If you have a shed or garage, tuck your expensive equipment in there once you're done using it.
Are you joking? Okay, kids, come on, time for bed. Give me your laptops, come on, give me your iPads. Call your missus over. Hello, darling, give me your jewellery. Come on, put it all in the suitcase, put it in the shed. Now, I don't know what it's like in America, but in the UK, sheds are regularly robbed because people want the lawnmowers and the power tools. They're having an absolute result. Go on, go and get in that shed. They've got a nice lawnmower. Oh look, they've also got a load of electronic equipment. I don't think that's a good idea.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
I mean, look, that shed has got some stupid little padlock. It looks like a combination padlock. I mean, come on. Whereas your house, you'd hope at least would have a lever lock and a cylinder lock.
Otherwise, you might one day find yourself...
Although they don't tend to have lever locks on their front doors in America. American domestic security is pretty bad. You know, most houses will have like a Schlage or a quick set, and you know you can pick them with your finger.
off one lawnmower short. Keep ladders and toolboxes locked up inside.
Ladders inside. Toolboxes, yes. Don't leave your tools in your van. I mean, a lot of you watch this, a tradesman, you know that anyway. You know, if you can have the best locks on your full Transit Custom, but if you've got the best locks, they're just going to cut a nice sunroof in the side of your van with an angle grinder. Keep your tools in your house, obvious. Ladders, not so much.
Your home could be a full-on fortress, fit with high-end safety technology and state-of-the-art door and window locks. But if you carelessly left a ladder outside for the day,
or put all your stuff in your shed,
you could come back from work only to find that your house has been robbed because you forgot to protect your chimney.
Chimney? Is this real? What is this? Some 17th century gentleman thief, Raffles, coming down your chimney?
Install motion sensor lighting. A flash of bright light in the dark of night may help you kill two birds with one stone.
Pretty good advice, actually. I've got a friend who's set up that one where not only is it a motion sensor, but it also operates a camera that notifies his phone, and if he's down the boozer or maybe he's down the boozer, his phone just comes on, and the camera that's trained on his front door area, that's now lit as well by the motion sensor, he can see who's there, it's recorded, everything. That's actually pretty good security, I think.
No.
By the way, that's just an expression. No animals were harmed in the making of this video.
That's a great joke.
Now, sudden bright lights will disorient the criminal for
It won't. What?
a few moments and give you a heads up that something's going on in or around your house. Yeah,
The light going on is a good thing, but it's hardly a flash grenade, is it?
yep, you heard that right. Motion sensor light fittings are better installed both outside and inside your home. While putting them outside is pretty obvious, installing some in your house gives you a huge advantage.
I mean, it turns the light on so that the thief can see all the things that you previously hid. Surely it's better if a thief comes in your house and you're upstairs in bed, it's harder for him to, it's harder for him to rob your house if the lights don't come on. If he's got a torch, your neighbours are going to see that weird, a torch moving around in a room almost looks like a party. Like, people will notice that at like 3 o'clock in the morning. But if a light comes on, well, unless it's your bathroom light, of course, because they're trained on that. Yeah, I don't know about that one. I don't know about motion sensor lights indoors.
You know that your rooms will get lit up when you enter them. Burglars, however, have no clue. In more ways than one.
He told them.
Keep your lawn trimmed while you're away.
This is actually good advice, and also, get someone to take all that junk mail off of the, put a lump of wood in your what's it called, in your letterbox, and tell a neighbour to take all that junk mail off your doorstep. Because if you go away for 3 or 4 weeks, you'll be surprised how many bloody pizza delivery adverts, taxi company adverts, all that stuff builds up, and that's just a sign saying we're not here and we haven't been here for a while.
Before we head out on a big...
I mean, the lawn trim thing is more of an American thing. I imagine in the UK, if you trim your lawn, that'll tell most burglars that you're thinking of going on holiday.
big trip. Most of us are good about checking doors and windows. But how often do you think about your yard? If you won't be home for a while, it's best to create an illusion that your house is still inhabited. Burglars don't like it when someone's home. They prefer the job to be as quick and easy as possible. So, if your lawn is unkempt, it's a clear sign that nobody's around to tend to it.
It's such an interesting cultural difference between the US and the UK.
Hire someone to do it for you
What, the bloke is going to rob your house?
while you're away, so that the wrong people don't get the wrong idea. You can also ask friends or neighbors you trust to check inside the house from time to time for a better effect.
I'd just go on holiday every weekend, but actually just go around the corner to my mate's house. And that way you get your neighbours to, mow your lawn, pick up all your junk mail, take your bins out.
Legendary.
Have your mail collected.
I'll beat you to it.
If your mailbox is brimming with newspapers, flyers, and other
Yeah, it's actually a really good point. Think about this one.
correspondence and junk mail while you're away,
Not that more than 0.001% of the people in the UK have one of those mailboxes, but if it's all building up on your doorstep or there's 30 of them sticking out your letterbox, it's not a good look. It really does explain the situation.
it also sends potential burglars a message.
He's not a potential burglar. He looks like a bass player from a band called Slab.
that nobody's been home for a while. Have someone collect your mail and suspend your subscriptions if possible to keep your mailbox from advertising your absence.
Serious question. Who has got many people in their life that they would trust with their mail? I mean, I think I've probably got one, but the temptation to get that kettle on and get some of those steamed open, or maybe that's just me and I should perhaps consider speaking to a professional.
Don't publicize your vacation plans. Since we're on the topic of leaving your house for some
I'd publicise my vacation plans if it was with those two. I'd tell everyone I know.
prolonged period of time, don't forget that it's best to keep this information as private as possible. You can share vacation plans with your trusted people, especially if you need them to check in
He doesn't look too trustworthy.
on your house while you're away. But social media is definitely a no-no.
And you know, this is actually very important. You know, a lot of people, there's enough information on a lot of people's social media accounts that shows where they live, that photos of their house, photos of their car. I've even seen people hold up pictures of their keys. You know, if you get a photo of someone's keys, you know, if you know anything about keys, you can get them duplicated. You can make the keys, know where the house is, and when that post goes up, yay, 3 weeks in the Bahamas tomorrow. You know, you might as well have just given your stuff away. So yeah, that's a fair point.
Thieves are known to monitor other people's posts about upcoming vacations in order to find their next target. Creepy. Leave a bathroom light on while you're away.
This one again's weird.
And here's another way you can make it look like somebody's still home when the house is actually empty. I know, leaving a light on isn't exactly the best for your wallet, but it's just for when you go on vacation. And you can always put that light on a timer that...
Yeah, that's what I got my mother to do when she went away. I mean, you know, she lives in a piddly little 2 up, 2 down middle of terrace. But there are robberies in the area, so I got her to plug in a couple of timers with lights on them, and you know, they go on and off all day long. Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
that goes on just at night. Get a canine companion. If you're a dog owner, like me, one added bonus of having such an awesome pet is that the sight or sound of one can keep burglars away. And if you don't have a pooch, just fake it.
I must admit, I used to have a bull terrier, and my girlfriend at the time lived in a very rough area in Eltham. If you know Eltham, you'll know that it is just one massive rough area in South London. And we'd get, when I was round her house, we'd get people, you know, opening the letterbox to see if there were people there. And my dog was well trained, and as soon as he smelled or heard someone kneeling down in front of our door, he'd run up to that door, and as soon as it opened, he'd be like, ah! A dog is a deterrent, but only, of course, when you're in, which is a nice time to have thieves deterred, of course. Yeah, thieves are not going to rob a house with a dog in it because it's going to make a load of noise, and if it is a bull terrier, a German shepherd, a mastiff, something with a little bit of clout, no, they're not going anywhere near that property, I think it's fair to say.
Put up a beware of dog sign, for instance. It'll make thieves less likely to choose your house as their target. Hide your valuables well. A built-in wall safe is the best measure by far. But if you don't have one, you can still use your imagination and find lots of places to stash your valuables.
Look at their drawer of $1.
A decoy book or toy is good enough, or you can even get more creative by making your own hiding place, like a sliding pile in the bathroom.
Oh, it reminds me, when they start talking about that sort of thing, I start thinking of like obsessive midlife divorcee crisis, you know, getting really obsessed with this sort of thing, and every time he goes out the door, he goes into his bathroom, pulls the bathroom mat to one side, unscrews the 5 the 5 screws, lifts up the tile, presses the button, does the combination, pulls the cover out, then puts his arm in, reaches 90 degrees left, 30 to the right, presses another button. Yeah. And after all that, he puts his $6.99 garage watch in it.
Cut down trees near a 2-story house.
Whoa, no idea where this is going.
While burglars are more likely to break into a house from the first floor, they can see an opportunity in a tall growing tree that looks right into a window on the second floor.
I don't know about that one. Again, it might be an American thing that I'm not aware of. But don't cut your trees down. Lovely to have trees around your house. Just lock your windows.
You'll do best by cutting or trimming it so that no one can make their way in from there. Install an alarm. Yeah, this sounds pretty obvious, but you shouldn't forget that burglars love silence. They prefer to go about their business quietly.
If you are going to do that, get a decent quality alarm. It's very, very easy. I might do a video on that actually. It's very easy to disable a lot of cheap alarms. So, pay for a decent one. Get a decent system.
So that they don't bring attention to themselves. Makes sense, right? So, if
Oh, hey, you should have cut those trees down some. And that lawn looks a bit... and your bathroom lights off. Good Lord.
they come in and trigger an alarm that wakes everybody up, they've already failed and will want to retreat as fast as they can.
Yeah, but get an alarm or a dog, not both, or that's happening every day and night, every time you go to bed.
Don't let strangers in. A vast majority of burglaries are perpetrated by people who have been to your house before. Whenever you invite someone you
Mum, dad, wife.
don't know inside, you're basically letting them window shop for goodies and scope out any security measures you've undertaken.
I'm trying to think who that would be. Jehovah's Witness? Who comes? Police? I mean, I have heard of criminals dressing up as police. TV license people, don't let them in.
If the potential burglar finds your house to their liking, you're almost guaranteed to get robbed later.
And although I am making light of this because I'm attempting to entertain, horrible to have your house burgled, a horrible experience to go through, very hard to feel safe in it afterwards, you know, and you're going to lose a lot of things that have got, even if not financial value, sentimental value that can't be replaced. And so, although I am making light of a lot of this, some of this advice is good, and you know, things are getting pretty bad out there. So you know, do protect your property. Be sensible. Think about it. Just don't go over the top because it will consume your life.
These strangers might disguise themselves as service workers, like electricians or plumbers. So always double check that a company has sent someone to your house.
Interesting story. There was a Hatton Garden, a famous jewellery and diamond area in London. A bloke called a locksmith to get him into his jewellery store, and the locksmith got him in, and he paid the locksmith went, and then he cleared the place out and went home. You know, you always need to be careful. I mean, I know my example was kind of the opposite of what they were saying, but if you have people turn up in your street, say they're doing, you know, gas maintenance or whatever, make a phone call or something. I think that's good advice.
Keep a large pair of work boots outside your door.
Make sure they're like size 20 so they think a giant lives there.
If you leave a large pair of work boots on your porch, they'll get a potential burglar thinking that there's someone home at the moment. Plus, big boots make it look like a big guy lives there. Not many criminals would risk getting caught and beat up by some huge dude. No sir.
Or maybe you could put a Chelsea T-shirt there. I mean, no one's going to want to go in an house of a Chelsea supporter.
If you hear someone in your house, don't turn on the lights. You know your home better than anyone, so you can probably get around it even in pitch dark. Burglars will be much more careful when going about their business, so you'll have an advantage here. Avoid using a flashlight too. It'll give away your...
Just let that magazine rip, man, in the general direction of the noise. Again, unless you're in England, where you can't. And there's been endless cases where the house owner has ended up in nick because they hurt the burglar. Ridiculous.
Position. Keep it simple. As much as you may love lavishness, you'd better at least keep it away from prying eyes.
That's so exciting, and it's so amazingly attractive.
Burglars have a good eye for valuable items. If you put your money, time, and effort into decorating your front yard, for example, it's likely that you do the same thing for the inside of your house. Keep the front lawn as simple as possible. It'll save you from unwanted attention.
I have no idea what he's talking about there. Simple lawn? What, not like the ones on Edward Scissorhands, no? It said 15 plus, I'll give it that.
Be careful with your trash. Yep, that's right. Your garbage can tell potential robbers what to look for in your house. For example, if you throw away the box from a brand new flat-screen TV, they'll know you have one.
But it might be a great joke to throw a load of boxes of expensive items in your neighbour's front garden. Only joking.
It's as simple as that. The same goes for any other trash you produce.
Again, I mean, these are all much of a muchness, aren't they, really? I think the general rule is don't make your house tempting to burglars.
So either recycle it or get rid of it in a more obscure way.
Get a hang glider and drop it over some forest somewhere. I don't know. Maybe go aqua zooming, is that a thing? I don't know. Just find a nice obscure way to dispose of your trash. Maybe sellotape it to the next rocket that goes to the moon.
So, which anti-burglary tips can you add to this list?
Be skint and unsuccessful in life and you'll never get robbed. I haven't. I've never been robbed. You know, come in. You're welcome. I could do with a company.
Leave them down in the comments so we can steal them. Ha! Oh, and
great joke. Yeah, and if you've got any advice or tips, you put them in the comments. I'll be interested to hear them. Points go to the funnier ones, of course. I don't really care.
please remember to give this video a big thumbs up.
Likewise.
Share it with your friends.
Yep.
And click subscribe to stay on the bright side of life.
Yeah. Alright people, hope you enjoyed that. We'll be back to the lockpicking next week. Look after yourselves. Take care. Ta-da.